This video, we're going to be going over 8th grade Intro to Multiplying in Scientific Notation. Before we dive into multiplying in scientific notation, let's recall how to multiply with decimals. So if we have the number 2.4 times 2, I'm going to multiply these by hand. So we have 2.4, again, times 2, or 2 4/10 times 2. 2 times 4 is 8. 2 times 2 is 4, and then we have one place value. So I need one place value in my product. Okay. The next one we're going to do is 4.6 times 3.5. And so again, I'm going to write it out by hand. 5 times 6 is 30. 5 times 4 is 20. Add the 3, makes that 23. 3 times 6 is 18. 3 times 4 is 12. Add the 1, that makes 13. I'm going to add these two. Bring down the 0. 8, 9, 10, 11. 3, 4, 5, 6. And then bring down the 1. We have 2 place values. So I need 2 place values in my product. So my final answer is 16.10 or 16.1. Okay, so notice the different place values here. And then also notice that one is between 1 and 10, and the other is greater than 1 and 10. So there's going to be some adjusting that we need to make to our numbers written in scientific notation when I multiply them. And we're going to get there in that video. So number 1, let's look at the scientific notation numbers. 2.4 times 10 to the 6th power times 2 times 10 to the 3rd power. So in this particular instance, whenever we are multiplying in scientific notation, we need to pick out our exponents and then also our regular numbers. So we have 2.4 that we're going to multiply, and we have 2 that we're going to multiply. We're going to not look at this just for a moment. We're going to multiply 2.4 times 2, which I did above, so I'm just going to use that answer, and that was 4.8. Okay, then we have the times the base of 10. And then let's go back and remember our exponent laws. If I have 10 to the 6th power times 10 to the 3rd power. So again, if I was just to have 10 to the 6th times 10 to the 3rd, you could expand out your 10s and then count up how many you have all together, but that's 9. So my answer would be 10 to the 9th power. Check and make sure, is this number still greater than 1, less than 10? Yes, it is. So that's all that we need to do for that particular problem. Okay, however, let's look at the next example. I had 4.6 times 10 to the 2nd power, and then I had 3.5 times 10 to the 1st power. Okay, again, we're going to pick out our regular numbers. So I'm going to multiply 4.6 by 3.5, and I did that right here above, and I got 16.1 as my answer. Okay, always times the base of 10 is a scientific notation. Also, we can see that here, 10 to the 2nd power times 10 to the 1st power. If I was to write those off to the side, or if I just gave you this problem, you'll be able to expand out your 10s and say 10 to the 2nd is 2, plus this one makes 10 to the 3rd power. But hold up, we have a problem on this one. If you look, 16.1 is not greater, yes, it's greater than 1, but it is not less than 10. So again, we have an issue or a problem because this number right here is no longer in correct scientific notation because it says 16.1. So we're going to do a little correcting, and there's a couple ways that you can do so. One way that I prefer is to write out 16.1, and let's do what it says. Multiply by 10 to the 3rd power. So we're changing my place value 1, 2, 3. Okay, so that would look like 16,100. Okay, now we're going to put it in correct scientific notation. So my decimal point should have been between the 1 and the 6 to be correctly written. So that would be 1, 2, 3, 4. So it should be written as 1.61 times 10 to the 4th power. And again, I corrected it right down there. Okay, let's try another one where we need to correct them. Okay, so number 3. I have 7.8 times 10 to the 3rd power. And then I have 3.6 times 10 to the 3rd power. Okay, I'm going to multiply out my regular numbers. So 7.8 times 3.6. 6 times 8. 6 times 7. 42, 43, 44, 45, 46. 3 times 8 is one I always miss on my multiplication facts when I was in middle school, by the way. 3 times 8 is 24. 3 times 7 is 21. Plus the 2 makes that 23. Adding those up, we're going to bring down my 8, 10, 8, and then 2. So I have 28. And I had my 2 decimal points in my factors here, and then I have 2 decimal place values in my product. So we have 28.08, always multiplied by the base of 10. Let's figure out our exponents. We have 10 to the 3rd plus another, or times another 10 to the 3rd. We add our exponents. So that becomes 10 to the 6th power. But oh no, we have a problem. 28.08 or 28 and 8/100ths is not less than 10, and 28 is bigger than 10. So we need to rewrite this in correct scientific notation. So let's take 28.08 and let's do what it says. It says times 10 to the 6th power. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's fill it in with zeros. Okay, so that number is 28, 0, 8, 0, 0, 0, 0. Okay, and we're going to place this in correct scientific notation. So my decimal point should have been between the 2 and the 8. And my place value for my exponent is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So the correct answer was 2.8. Continue until you get all of the zeros at the end. 0, 8, always times the base of 10. And the correct exponent used came from right here, and that was supposed to have been 7. Okay, let's do one more. I'm going to flip it over to the back. And that becomes example number 4. Okay, so in this example, we have 6.4 times 10 to the 8th power times 5.2 times 10 to the 4th power. Okay, so first we need to multiply our regular numbers. So I'm going to multiply 6.4 times 5.2. So again, 6.4 times 5.2. 2 times 4 is 8. 2 times 6 is 12. 5 times 4 is 20. 5 times 6 is 30. And then the 2 makes that 32. 8, 2, 3, 3. So my answer, again, we had 2 decimal points up here. So 2 decimal points in my product. So that becomes 33.28. Always times the base of 10. And let's figure out our exponent here as we multiply them. 8 plus 4 is 12. And then, oh no, we have another problem. 33 is greater than 10. Remember, to be correctly written in scientific notation, we need to have the number greater than 1, but also less than 10. 33.28 is greater than 10, so let's go ahead and fix this. So we have 33.28, and it says times 10 to the 12th power. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, now there's another way because I don't want to necessarily write all of those zeros in there. I know that my decimal point should have been right here between the 2, 3. So it reads 3.328. Okay, so I can just go ahead and add one more. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 should have been my exponent. Or if you prefer, going ahead and writing in the zeros. And then writing out the number. Okay, then knowing that your decimal point was supposed to go between the 2, 3, so it reads 3.3. And then we're going to change my place value. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 times. So the correct answer is 3.328 times 10 to the 13th power. Hope this video has helped you as we are doing an intro to multiplying in scientific notation. If you are watching this during the 2020-2021 school year, please make sure that this is on page 21 of your math notebook. Best of luck on today's independent practice.